Then 1 minute. We'll be doing study skills. What we will do is to recapitulate what we have discussed last time and also discuss two important aspects of study skills, that is examination skills and information transfer. All right. So we'll be dealing with these two aspects of study skills. So last time I told you that before lecture, you should get ready with your pen and paper, your notebook and all. Leave margin, give dates, and write the lecturer's name or the teacher's name. You do that now. Okay, all of you. Have you written the dates? Do you have a pen and paper, by the way?
Good afternoon,
Yes, also do
Panchanan
you
sir. Sir is also here.
Hello. Yes, nice to see you.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, namaste.
Namaste, namaste.
Namaste,
Yeah.
all the best for today's session, sir, and I'm pretty sure this session will be very useful and engaging.
Yes, thank you. Yes. So, as I told you in the last class, before lecture, we should get ready with pen and paper, write the date of the lecture on the top of the paper or notebook, and also the teacher's name. Please do that. And please make notes of important points that I say. At the end, we'll have a discussion. I'll give you half an hour for asking questions, and I will respond to your questions. And in between, I'll give you tasks also to write something. So be ready with your pen and paper. Are you ready, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Very good. That's a
Yes.
good response. Very nice. So, as I told you, we will recapitulate what we have discussed so far in the last class and also discuss two aspects of study skills, that is examination skills and information transfer. All right. Yeah. So you remember what are study skills? Study skills are skills that help students to organize their studies in an effective manner. Okay. Skills that help students to organize their studies in an effective manner are known as study skills. Okay, I'll ask you these questions at the end. Right, so note down. Yeah, so this word organize is important because one has to organize oneself. One has to conduct oneself in an effective manner. Because for efficient study, you need to be an efficient person. Yeah, effective manner. I'm using the word effective manner. Effective means which gives good results. Good results. So you organize your studies in such a way that you get good results. Okay, you do well in your studies and organize oneself in an efficient manner. Efficient means one will do one's work at proper time. Okay, and in a better way, in a good way. Okay, so you organize your timetable, you get up early in the morning, then have your food at the right time, then do your homework, submit your assignments at right time. So all these things are part of organizing oneself. Okay. So, and also you adopt study strategies. Study strategies. Some study techniques you have to adopt. For example, we have to adopt this PAR, P-A-R. P stands for preparation, before the class, before you go to school even, how to prepare yourself, know about the topic, think about the topic that will be discussed in the next class. When you attend the class, pay attention. A stands for attention. Then after you come back from your school, you revise your notes, revise what you have heard, recall what you have heard. So these are the three strategies, three techniques of study: preparation, attention, and revision. Okay. Then take notes, make notes, and I told you about visual memory. Recall technique. Okay. So you have to visualize and memorize. Okay. Memorize things what you have read or studied. You have to visualize that. Create the scene. You have to visualize the scene before you. Okay, suppose you read a story. Just try to recall what happened. Okay, you should think about that. Okay, so memorize. Memorize important events, important words, important aspects or facts. Then summary. Write summary of what you have read. That will help you to recall things. Then you also have to read a lot of things. Whatever assignments are given to you, you should read them. So these things are important. All right. So study skills are learning skills. Okay. As they say in a Chinese proverb, give me a fish and I will have it for a day. Teach me to fish, I will live for entire life. I will fish for entire life. So I will earn a livelihood for myself. So like that, give me some water, I will drink for a day. Show me the source and I will drink for life. Means if you get a glass of water, you will drink for a day. That will quench your thirst for a day only. But if you know where the water is, then you can drink water every day. There will be no problem. Like that, if somebody teaches you a lesson, you will learn for the day. But if that person teaches you how to study, how to learn, then you will read on your own. You will become an independent reader or student or autonomous learner. Okay. So there are main components of study skills and there are soft skills. So you are doing reading, of course, with Suchi Didi, but that reading is a bit different. As part of that reading, you will be reading different kinds of text. All right, you will be reading newspapers, you will be reading different kinds of materials. Okay, but this is the reading I am talking about is academic reading. Under academic reading, you will be reading textbooks, articles from journals, and so on. So this is academic reading. That is general reading. This is academic writing. That is general writing. Okay, there you write letters, notes and other things. Here you will be writing essays, then summary and other things. Okay, so this is academic writing. So don't be confused that she is also teaching reading, he is also teaching reading, so why reading twice? Okay, so I am sure you will understand the difference. Then we'll under study skills, we have reading, writing, then examination skills. Examination skills, what to be done before exam and during exam and after exam, we'll learn that. We'll learn about that. Then reference skills. Uh, Reference skills means using a dictionary, how to use a dictionary. That we'll do in the next class. But today we'll concentrate on examination skills and information transfer. These two aspects today we are going to deal with. I'll just recapitulate, summarize what we have done in the last class. Is that okay for you? Or is a repetition, boring repetition? Not a repetition, but revision. Okay? Do you agree with me? All of you? Yeah, good. It's a revision, so don't mind. Then reading means reading. Under reading, you have different soft skills like skimming and scanning. We discussed this in the last class. Skimming means quick reading. Quick reading to get an overall idea about the text. Okay, scanning means reading slowly, paying attention to important details. Okay, so if you combine both, you'll be a good reader, effective reader. You understand the text as a whole, and also you know the details of the text or the whatever you have read. All right. So another soft skills of reading is identifying main ideas. What are the important ideas that are there in the text, in an essay, okay, or in a letter. Okay, identifying semantic markers or signaling words. Signaling words. Okay, I told you about signaling words last time, or semantic markers. The writer will say like this: there are three features of Indian economy. So the three is the signaling words. After three, something important is going to come. He or she is going to tell about three important features of Indian economy. So you have to be careful. You have to read what is going to come next. All right. Then how the text is organized. Organization of the text. You have to look at how is the writer introducing the topic. How is the writer elaborating points. Okay, which part is introduction, which part is argument, which part is conclusion. All right. So what are the main topics and headings and subheadings? You have to see and look at the topic sentences of each paragraph also. That will give you clue about content. All right. Then you have to adopt different strategies of reading, like predicting. Before you read a text, you ask yourself, what am I going to read? Ask yourself, what will be the meaning of this topic, of the title? What will be the meaning of the title? Okay, if you understand the title, you have understood half of the text. Okay, if you understand the title well, you have understood the text half. All right, half of the job is done. Understand? So understanding the title, reflecting on the title is very, very important. Then I am asking you to predict, because when you predict, you apply your mind. Because as I told you, reading is a two-way process. And a reader is not a passive receiver or recipient, but an active participant. Active participant. Reading is an active process. All right. So you have to predict, you have to ask questions, then you will be a better reader. Okay, pay attention to the topic sentence, getting the gist, try to get the gist. Have I understood? What have I understood by reading this? Okay, so try to ask yourself. Text organization, how is the text organized? I told you how many paragraphs are there, what are the functions of each paragraph, okay, whether this is making a statement, this sentence is making uh, elaboration or extrapolation and things like that. Okay. Understanding meaning in context. So you may come across difficult words, unknown words, unfamiliar words. Try to understand the meaning in context. Sometimes you need to consult a dictionary, do that. Understanding meaning in context, then inference, and so on. Inference is also one of the soft skills or strategy of reading. Okay, so you infer what can you foresee, what is going to happen next. I gave you the example of the king who loved to listen to endless stories, stories that would not end. Okay, so what will happen? The first storyteller came, the second storyteller came. Then, if I ask you to infer what will happen, you will say the third storyteller will come and he will also tell stories. Maybe he will tell a story that doesn't happen, or he will play a trick and the king will get fed up and will say, okay, stop your story and I will give my daughter in marriage. Okay, you guess, okay, you infer. All right, so that is also one strategy. Yeah, about reading, any questions so far? Do you have any question? No, at the end we will ask question. All right, good. Then writing. Writing will involve note taking, summarizing, and paraphrasing. All right, we'll discuss each of them a little bit. Note making. To make good notes, we have to learn three soft skills. Okay, finding keywords, shortening words, and formatting, putting them in appropriate format or representing them in appropriate format. All right. So that format can be a table, a tree diagram, or listing, and so on. Okay. So note making, I also told you the difference between note taking and note making. Note making is done from books and journals, eh, but note taking is done from lectures or speeches. Yeah, so finding keywords and making notes. This is a passage. Okay. Paul Grice was an eminent philosopher and linguist who researched the ways people derive meaning from language. In his book Studies in the Way of Words, Grice outlined four main maxims of conversation which describe how people communicate when they want to make sure that they are properly understood by others. And the four maxims are maximum of quality, maximum of quantity, maximum of quality, maximum of relation, maximum of manners. Okay, so this is the passage. So we have underlined the main words here. Okay, guys, eminent philosophical linguist. These are the main words. Underlined words are the main words. Okay, and using these main words, we are making a note. Okay, we made notes of this. Paul Grice, eminent philosopher linguist. We need not write full sentence. All right. Research like this, ways of people derive meaning from language. Language, you can write LANG or LG is also fine. As long as you understand it, there is no problem, no issue. His book, his studies, and this part is the note. Okay, and see this passage, the entire passage was of 62 words, and you have reduced that to 38 words. Great. Okay, so this is how notes should be prepared. I'm sure now you are convinced that you can also prepare these kinds of notes, right? Yeah. So what are the ways of shortening? One of the ways is abbreviating the text. There'll be long expressions, you have to abbreviate them, call them AIMS. All India Institute of Physical Science AIMS is an institute like this. Teaching English as a second language, TESOL. Teaching English to speakers of other languages, TESOL. Cognitive Academic Language Proficiency, CAL. Basic Interpersonal Communication Skills, PACE. Okay. Then another way of shortening is converting full form into short form. Okay, like speaking, listening, reading, writing, all these are there. So you call it SLRW. Multilingual education, MLE. Mother tongue, MT. Okay, like that. Full form to short form. Then shortening the word. You are shortening the word here. Government, you say govt. Department, that. What do you call political science? Political science?
Yes, sir.
PSC, okay, or Pol SC, you can call it also. Very good. Okay, PSC, Pol SC. All right. So like that. Using symbols, you can say equal to like this. Put the symbol only. Percent symbol. Then greater than, you can put symbol. Smaller than or lesser than, you can put symbol. Like these symbols you use. Changing words into figures. Okay, you need not write the whole phrase, whole sentence. You suppress the suppress certain words. Okay, three persons fell ill. For example, you would write in numerical form. Okay, three fell ill. Then reducing the verb form. You can suppress the verb form. For example, several steps were taken to stop infiltration. Steps taken to stop infiltration. Okay, just say, you need not write everything. Joint session of the parliament will be held next month. How will you write? How will you shorten it? Anybody? Joint session of the parliament will take place next month or will be held next month. How will you reduce it? Try. There is no one answer. You can do in different ways. So whatever say will be right. Okay. Common. There is a word. There is a sentence. The joint session of the parliament will be held next month, or will be called next month. You can just say joint session of parliament next month. Okay. Or joint session of parliament takes place next month. Okay. Like that. Joint session of parliament, or put dash and next month. There are different ways of doing it. Okay, and you can do that. Then note taking, I told you that we take notes from lectures, speeches, and interviews, and some skills of note making will help you in note taking too, like shortening, formatting, using symbols and other things. Okay. Yeah. Then steps for note taking, I told you in the last class. Before taking notes, you have to prepare yourself. Prepare your notes. Think about the topics. That is why it is said positive note taking starts before a lecture. Okay. Think about the topic. Ask yourself, what are you going to learn tomorrow? Guess. Just make guesses. guessing is not a mistake. There is nothing wrong in guessing. Okay, you might be wrong, it might be right, doesn't matter. But you are activating your mind. hmm? Your mind will be activated by doing this exercise. Work on the background of the topic. Suppose there is a class tomorrow on Sarojini Naidu, okay, or Rabindranath Tagore's poem. So, what do you know about Rabindranath Tagore? If you have some idea, that is fine. You don't stop there. If you want to know more about Tagore, you Google it, find out, okay, more information about the background. Okay, suppose you are going to read a poem by Wordsworth. What do you know about Wordsworth and other poems written by him? Just do a survey, little bit of survey beforehand. Work on the background of the topic. If you know the topic, just try to find out what is it about, okay, and so on. Think about the expected contents. This is the topic. So, what is the teacher going to say? What is the lesson going to convey? Okay. And during the lecture, you have to prepare your notes, leave margins, write the date, name of the lecturer or teacher, topic on the top, pay attention, write in short form. And after the class, you revise your notes and information and all that. Okay. So, under writing, we have something called summarizing. And that is another aspect of writing. Summarizing means gist in your own words. You are writing the gist of the text in your own words. And there are steps that will help you to summarize the text in a better way. Okay, the 3 steps are, the first one is read and underline the main words in a text. And after you underline the main words, you prepare notes. Okay, using the notes, you prepare a draft summary. And after your draft summary, you proofread it, you edit it. Okay, there might be mistakes and all, so you edit it, and that will be the final summary. So never submit any assignment, any answer script without reading it. Okay, because I always tell my students, no writing is final. Don't say that it is the final. It can be improvised, it can be edited, it can be made better. Okay, and when you are writing, remember one more rule. One more rule is that don't write immediately. Plan and write. Okay, that is the first rule. And the second rule is no writing is final. You must edit or check and submit. Okay. When you write mail also, always read it. Otherwise, you will be sending a email with a lot of mistakes, and the other person will be getting a very bad impression about yourself. What will they think? They will say, this person doesn't know. He's a careless person, that's all. Very easily you will be branded. Okay, branded as a careless person. All right, and mails. I'll tell you a joke about sending mails. In a family, one person had died. Okay. And there was a neighbor. Okay. There was another family, and the neighbor went to the US. All right. Leaving behind his wife. All right. And after reaching US, he sends he writes a mail and saying that I have reached well, all right, and everything is all right here. After a few days, I will come to take you back. Okay. And instead of sending that mail to his wife, he sent that mail to his neighbor, okay, whose husband has recently died. So what will happen? What will it imply? This woman will think that her husband has written the letter from heaven. Okay, so there is carelessness. I just want to give this example as a sign of carelessness. So before you send mail, you check everything. Before you submit your assignment, check everything. Okay. Then summary example. I gave this example. This is a text about Charan's transformation, how he was depressed and his teacher took care of him, and how his grades improved and he became cheerful again. He came back to normalcy. Okay, so this is the passage, and from this passage, notes have been prepared. And using these notes, a summary has been prepared, draft summary. Okay, can you see an error in the first line? There is an error here. Who can say there is a typographical error? One spelling mistake is there. If nobody can say, Subhranshu will say. Subhranshu, are you around?
So yes, sir. I am here only.
Yeah. Okay.
So
What is the mistake?
quite since last.
Oh,
Since
great. You are really adorable, bright fellow. Yeah. This quite will be, what will be the right answer? Right spelling. It is quite, no?
yes, sir. The silent quiet it will be.
It will be quiet,
Yes.
not
yes.
quite.
Yes.
Okay, very good, Babu.
Thank you, sir.
Look, Q, I, and the Q, E, T, no?
Yes, sir.
Why it is not typing? Oh yeah, enable editing.
Yes,
Now it
sir.
will type.
Now it will be done.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I had not told Subhranshu the answer, but he could do it. See, QUIEP, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes. So like that. There'll be mistakes, so you edit it like that. Okay. You edit your draft summary, and that will be the final summary. Now this becomes the final summary. We'll read this exercise now. Good. Yeah. Task 1. Okay. This you can do at home. I was thinking, but I gave this task to you. You remember this? Of Buddha's childhood, little is known. Okay. You might remember this. You
Yes, sir.
summary of this. Very good. Yeah. So paraphrasing is also like summary, but it is a faithful representation of the original. Okay, you need not and you should not add anything of your own. You have to write in your own words, but it should be exact. Okay, whatever is said in the original text, you have to say the same thing, but in your own words. No extra notes are added. Okay, explanatory notes or anything is not added. Okay. So that is called paraphrasing. So I am giving you some techniques also for that. Write a paraphrase of the following. For example, this is the passage. When you write a paraphrase, you look at which words can be converted or which words have synonyms. Which words have alternatives? Okay. There will be some alternate words. Okay. For example, many of us tend to ignore the complaint of people who don't smoke, but who accept that their smoke is being polluted by those around them who do not smoke. Who do not smoke means non-smokers. Okay. However, you look at the increase in lung disease among non-smokers. So next slide will have some substitutes or alternatives. Okay. So people don't smoke, non-smokers. Accept, you can change into declare. Their air, the air they breathe is being polluted, is being contaminated. So alternative words you have to think, because you are not supposed to use the same words, no? So you have to think of some alternative words of your own. Just think, you will get certainly. By those around them who smoke, by smokers who are in close proximity to them. Magnitude, proportions, life and death issue, serious or critical. Okay. And then a 50% greater incidence of lung disease. Lung diseases are 50% more common. Okay, offices where smoking is prohibited. Offices where smoking is banned instead of prohibited, banned. So such substitutes you have to apply, you have to think of and write. Okay, then it will be easy. Now we shall discuss the main topic of today, that is examination skills. All right, that was recapitulation of what we had done in the last class. Today we'll be talking about examination skills and some information transfer. Okay, so exams have some misconceptions. We have some misconceptions about exam. Okay, that we'll see later, but what are the aims of examinations? Examinations provide platform to demonstrate your skills, learn. Okay. They give you an opportunity to demonstrate. You have learned a lot of things, so you want to demonstrate that. You want to show that you have learned this and you remember this. Okay. So it is a good platform. It is a positive. Purpose is to know how much the learners have learned and how much they are required to learn. Okay, so examination is not the final judgment. Okay, it is not the final judgment. Examination is a positive thing. It is said in our ELT that examination is not for exclusion, but it is an enabling exercise. Enabling exercise. How much the learner has learned and how much they need to learn. All right. It is not to eliminate them, not to fail or pass them, but to know their level. Okay. Level of knowledge, level of learning. Okay. So it's a positive thing. You should take it in a positive way, because it is giving you an opportunity to show how much you have learned. It also helps you to set goals to achieve, how to achieve that, how to achieve the goal, or how will you show what you have learned. Okay, you try different strategies, adopt different ways of showing that. Okay, then encourage to achieve success. It should help you to achieve success. If you pass the exam, you are passing out 1 year. All right, first year is over, then second year, and third year, like that. So motivate towards academic responsibilities. So you are capable of doing such work, such academic activities, and you are capable of writing a good essay, writing a summary, okay, or essay, or you are capable of making a presentation, things like that. Train to express your ideas briefly. So you have studied for 2 years, but you are writing exams for 3 hours. So within that short period, how to present your ideas, how to show what you have learned, that that gives you an opportunity, okay? And that comes with training. You train yourself. You look at previous year questions and practice how I should write. Okay. Then develop sense of cooperation and competition with others. So before exam, you discuss among yourselves, discuss among friends, seniors, teachers. Okay. So you share materials with them, learn from each other. That is a sense of cooperation. You have discussion groups and things like that. So cooperation and also competition. There is healthy competition, not that you will not share whatever you have or you will not get anything from others, not like that. But in the process of preparation, you are learning from each other, helping each other. That's a healthy sign. Okay. And provide scope to know the strengths and weaknesses. So, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? In what aspects of learning, what aspects of education you are good. For example, you are good in writing, but you are not very good in speaking. Okay, so you will know. And how to develop that, how to improve your speaking, you will do that by writing exam or by appearing in exams. Okay, but because it is giving you opportunities to present yourself. So after speaking many times, after making series of presentations, you will be developing your confidence, and you will be developing your fluency. You will be a good speaker also. All right. So these are opportunities. Also, don't have misconception. But we have misconceptions about exam. We think that examination is everything in life, and if we don't pass in examination, then life is gone. It is not like that. Examination determines my destiny. Okay. It is thought like that. People think that examinations determines my destiny. Examination determines my destiny. No, that is not correct. That is not a rightful thinking. Examination mainly measures the memorizing skills. That is also a misconception that examination measures our memorizing skill. Before the exam, we read something, and after that, we forget. Then after passing out, we forget everything. But nowadays, educationists are serious about all these things. They are trying to measure, they are trying to assess all aspects of learning, not only memorization, writing, but also speaking. There is something called CCE, Continuous Comprehensive Examination. All right. Continuous comprehensive. Comprehensive means including all aspects of learning. All right. So it is not about memorizing only. Memorizing. We also think that examination checks only writing skills, or examiners check only writing skills. All right. Other aspects are not done. Other aspects can also be assessed in the class. For example, in the final only writing, but in sessional assignments, terminal assignments, you may be asked to make presentations, you may be asked to face interviews, like that. So other aspects can also be assessed, can be examined. I also think the other students are better than me. Before exam, I think others are better, so I'm not that good. Okay, that kind of inferiority, complex inferiority feelings do come, but they are misconceptions. Nobody is perfect, nobody is good in all aspects. You'll be very good in one aspect, maybe not that good in other aspect, but that can be improved. You can improve yourself. There is always scope. Other students have not started preparation, so I will also not start. Okay, I will start when they start their preparation. That is a misconception and the wrong belief. All right, you should not go back there. Other students have already done preparation, so I should also do preparation. Not like that. Don't compare. Everybody is unique. Every one is specific. They have specific problems and specific capabilities. So you work according to your plan, your resources, and your capabilities. Don't depend on others like that. Don't compare like that. No preparation is enough to do well. The preparation, some people think that preparation से कुछ नहीं होता. Okay. So preparation can help. Of course, it can help. Preparation means revising things and other things. So I cannot perform well. So some people say that मेरे से तो नहीं होगा. So it's not like that. You should not think like that. You can do well. You can perform well, and you should prepare with a positive thinking, positive attitude. I cannot tolerate failure. Okay, it is not failure. First of all, it is not failure. So don't think that if I fail, how will I show my face to others? I should always pass. Okay, I should always stand first in my class. That kind of attitude is also not good. Try to do well, and based on your performance, you will be rewarded, and you accept that. Accept that. Okay, it is not determining all aspects of your life. There is only one aspect of life, your life. My failure proves me stupid. If I fail, people will call me stupid. My relatives will call me, this is a fool. He doesn't know anything, that's why he failed. Not like that. Not at all like that. Okay. You had certain problems in certain areas, certain aspects, so that's why you could not do well. If you work on that, next time you will do better. There is a chance. Okay, so not like that. So nobody is a born fool, nobody is a born intelligent person. All right. My failure proves me stupid, that is done. Examiners are unaware of many things. Oh, I wrote well, but the examiners didn't understand what they didn't understand. Your duty is to make them understand, make things clear. So don't presume that examiners don't know the things you are trying to convey, or they are not aware of certain things you know. That may not be the right attitude. The examiners are not good at evaluation. They don't see properly. No. All examiners are not like that. All examiners are not like that, and the papers are seen very carefully. They are cross-checked by other two teachers. Right. You should get rid of all these misconceptions. Examiners are partial or biased. Okay, they are partial, they do partiality for students of this district or this region. That's not That is also misconception. You give your best and you will be rewarded. Okay, you go with that kind of attitude. Yeah. So what should you do when you write your exam? During exam, what should you do? This is in the exam hall. Exam hall, once you get the question paper, read it carefully and before you start to write. Okay. Read the instructions very carefully. Read the question paper very carefully. And also fill in the required official details carefully. You have to write your roll numbers and other details perhaps. Okay. Don't forget. You read it and fill in the required details. Start with those questions you are confident of. But if questions come to you easily, you write that fast. Okay. And be precise. Some people take so many papers. They do so many papers. It is not evaluated. Your answers are not evaluated by quantity but quality. Okay, be precise. To present something in a precise manner is also an art. It is a skill. Okay, so do that. Don't write unnecessarily. That's what I mean. Divide proper time for each question. Divide your time for each question. Sometimes you write so much for one question, then write very little for another question. That is not a good thing. Spend more time on the questions that carry more marks. So there should be right proportion. Alright. If a question carries more marks, you have to write more. You have to give more importance to that. Prepare an outline for long answers in the rough page. Okay. If it is a long answer type question, prepare an outline. Make a rough page at the back of the answer script. Back of your answer script, you write rough. Okay, and prepare an outline. Suppose this is an essay, you are writing introduction. In introduction, what are you going to write? What will be the main arguments? In conclusion, what are you going to write? Prepare an outline. Jot down points there. Alright. Use those points. Later you can cross it, rough, and your examiner will not look at that. So don't worry about that. So no writing should be done immediately. Writing should be done with planning. Okay. You have to plan and write. And no writing is final. You remember that. You have to revise it. You have to proofread it. Then jot down points and try to recall if you are not sure about the answer. So jot down points. You can use the rough page and try to recall the answers. You will be able to recall them. Check whether you have completed all the questions. This is also important. After writing, don't submit your paper hurriedly. Not in a hurried manner, but check whether you have answered all the questions or not. If you have left questions, then you are going to suffer terribly. Okay, your marks will come down drastically. So we should check. Then check spelling, punctuation, grammar, everything, and remain confident and focused. Okay, don't distract yourself. Don't be nervous. You be cool. Okay, keep your cool and focused also. Concentrate on the things. It will not be a difficult thing because you have learned for years and that is your subject. You know so much. Alright, so you can present those things. So why should you be nervous? Alright. Yeah. So some don'ts. Don't stress too much on many things you are unable to understand. Suppose you don't understand anything, just don't stress. Try to understand, try to recall, read it slowly, read with whisper maybe, read it word with whisper, and you will understand. Okay. So if you don't understand, don't get nervous. Whatever you don't know, that's all right. There will be some questions you have attempted well, so all right, don't panic, don't be nervous, don't strain yourself, don't try to revise everything. Before exam, don't try to revise everything. Before exam, you should revise your notes only. Okay, revise your notes. Don't try to read all the books. Okay, before examination, before 1 or 2 days before the exam, means you are just going to revise your notes. Don't take out the old whole books and all. Don't try to read them again. Don't lose confidence, and don't be overconfident also. Both are bad. Okay. So during the exam, uh, this I have told you what you have to do during the exam. You have to do all this. And before the exam, one more thing I want to tell you. This happened with me. In college, I used to think whether I should use my ink pen or ball pen. Okay. So just before the exam day, previous evening, previous night, I'll be thinking about this, whether to use the sketch pen or the ink pen or the ball pen. And I used to spend 2 hours, 1 hour like that on thinking in thinking about all these problems. So don't do that. Whatever pen you have been using regularly, use that. Whether it is a ball pen or an ink pen, doesn't matter. Alright. So last day, don't be confused. Don't be confused. Don't be in confusion, and don't waste your time. So now we shall come to reference skills, but reference skills we'll do later. In the next class, we'll go to the other skill, that is information transfer. Information transfer. Information transfer means transforming information from verbal mode to visual mode, and vice versa. From verbal mode means from words and sentences to visual mode, charts, diagrams, etc. Okay. So this act is called information transfer. Types of visuals, for example, graph. You have graph, you have bar diagram, you have tree diagram, you have flow chart, pie chart. So these are visual modes. Okay? But you have sentences, you have phrases, you have paragraphs. They are verbal modes. Okay. So read the following paragraph and then look at the chart given after each paragraph. After the paragraph which contains the same information. Okay, for example, this is a paragraph. This is in which mode? Visual or verbal? Visual or verbal? This is verbal or visual? Verbal means sentences, paragraphs. Okay, so this is in verbal mode. Okay. This paragraph we can represent in a graph. Just go through this paragraph. I'm giving you 2 minutes, and you'll see how this has been represented in a bar diagram, bar graph. Every financial year, a company plans budget for various purposes. The bar diagram shows the percentage. This is not total expenditure of company under various expense heads where equal distribution of 20% is done for infrastructure. You note down these points. 20% is for infrastructure. For salary, 17%. Infrastructure and salary, okay, 20%. 17.5% expense is made for interest paid for loans, okay, and 12.5% is spent on transport facility. You note down these, okay, these figures, because you have to compare, you have to tally in whether these things are represented well or not in the graph, okay. And as advertisement has one of the important roles to popularize the company, surprisingly, 15% of the total expense is made for its, whereas the remaining 10% and 5% is done for taxes and research and development consecutively. All right, note down these figures and we'll tally. And if there is a disparity, if there is a problem, you tell me. Have you noted down these? Just the figures. Infrastructure and salary, how much? Interest for loan, how much? Transport, how much? Advertisement, how much? Tax and RD, how much? Okay, now I will show you the bar diagram. Now you compare. So this is the horizontal axis. This is usually the y-axis. This is the x-axis. Okay. And here it percentage spent, okay, and percentage spent, the amount spent, and for infrastructure 20%. Is it correct? Is it correct or not? The figures are represented correctly or not? Tell me. One yes? At least one yes?
Yes, sir, it is correct.
Okay, very good, very good. Is that Saranya?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good. Thank you for that response. Yeah. But it is called flow chart, and this represents different steps of writing an essay. All right. You start here, then you do brainstorming. And so before writing an essay, you do brainstorming. Okay, then you prepare the outline, then you write the first draft, then you do the final essay, and finished, that is done. Okay. So you represent this in a paragraph. You write a paragraph using this 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 steps. Okay. Or 5 steps. If you say start, if you omit start, then it will be 5 steps. So write a paragraph for steps used for writing an essay. You write 4-5 sentences, that is enough. I will be happy with that. And for this also you are getting 5 minutes, not more than that. Okay? Is that okay, all of you? Will you write? Write the first sentence like this. Okay. When we write an essay, we do brainstorming first. Okay. Or the first step of writing an essay is brainstorming. Means planning, getting ideas, generating ideas. Okay. The next, I should not say more than that. Otherwise, I'll be telling you the answer. So you should do on your own.
Sir, I did not get that one, sir.
You did not get the question.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There is not any topic. So how do I write?
No, I'm not asking you to write an essay. All right. What all I'm asking you is to explain the steps. Explain the steps of writing an essay. For example, you will say first, before writing an essay, we have to generate ideas, and that is called brainstorming. Okay. After
Yes.
that, we have to prepare an outline. After that, we have to prepare the first draft. Then we have to make corrections in the first draft and write the final essay. And this is
Yes.
how an essay is written. That is a paragraph. You write like that, okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Right. I'll listen from you. Okay. And read out the paragraph. If anybody has finished, just say finished or I am done. Who has finished? Sharanya, have you finished?
Yes, sir, I have finished.
Very good. Very
Great.
good.
So, sir, will you start?
Yeah, please read it out. Yes.
So the first sentence is, there are 5 steps to write an essay. First, start with brainstorming, then prepare an outline of the essay. After that, make your first draft. After drafting, complete the essay and conclude your essay with a good note.
Great job. Great job. Very nice. Thank you. Excellent work. Very nice.
Thank you, sir.
Any other participant? Any other student who has done? There is no one answer to this. You can write in different ways. So whatever you say will be appreciated. So don't worry. Okay. Anybody can say. Anybody can read out their paragraph. If you don't come out voluntarily, we will call your names. So Branshu, whom should we call?
Sir, either SP Nag, he's silent for a long time now. SP Nag, can you say, please unmute yourself?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so please answer.
Have you
When
written
we
the-
write,
Yes, please go ahead.
am I audible, sir?
Yes, clearly.
When we write an essay, we do brainstorming. Along with this, we make an outline of the essay to write it. After that, we first draft the ideas in a paper to write an essay. Finally, the essay is written and completed.
Very good. But why you are not showing? You have done so well. Huh? Very nice. What is the full form of SP?
Samir Prasad Nag.
Acha, Samir, you have done so well.
Thank you,
You are
sir.
reading it so well. And why you hesitate? Why you are hesitating?
No, sir, I'm not hesitant, sir.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. Good. Very nice. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else wants to read out voluntarily?
Chitrasen, do you want to read out?
Yeah, Chitrasen should do it. He might have done a good job. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Please
Yes,
unmute
Chitrasen,
yourself.
go ahead.
Sir, actually, I am on duty. That's the reason I couldn't participate well.
Mhm.
So, just I tried. Okay. When I have
No
been
problem.
started,
Don't worry. You have written, no?
yeah,
Yeah.
when I have been
Read out.
started writing any essay like that, so I have started with the good impressive looks. Then we need to make some brainstorm. Then we make some outline. Then we should make some outline. After that, sir, actually,
You have to write the first draft.
yes, sir. Then
You have to
finally,
write the first draft. Then you have to, you have to
correctly.
correct the first draft and make the final essay.
Yes, sir.
Good attempt. You have tried at least. That's nice. Okay, so we shall move forward. After this, nothing more. We'll have a discussion. If you want to know more about study skills, you read these books and learn on your own. You can learn a lot of things about study skills, how to study. This book I read long back. In my high school, I used to read this one. And I developed interest in study skill. Harry Maddox. Then this we have written. There is a book called Skills in English, Learning to Learn. Okay, we have written this book, and this book has all the information I have told you today. Michael J. Wallace's book, Study Skills in English, is also a good book. So read any of these, or all of these, you will know more about study skills. Okay, so thank you very much. We'll have a discussion. If you have any questions, I would be happy to respond to them. Okay, now I'm sharing. I'm stopping it for now. Okay. But you have questions, so you must ask questions. Otherwise, the presentation is not over.
Thara Shah, you have been quiet for a long time. Do you have...
Yeah, Tara, she's my PhD student. So, Tara, how do you feel about the session?
Hello.
Yeah, Tara is from Syria. All right,
Oh.
Yes. I have been
show your video.
attending. Yes.
Tara, why don't you show your video? switch on your video.
Oh, one
Say
second.
hi.
One second. I have to go to an area like where it's light. One
There is no light. Yeah.
it's a dim light. I was just like,
Light.
because
No
I
problem.
didn't expect. I
You
didn't
are a
expect.
bright star. So.
Thank you, sir. And I logged in from my. I'm logged in from my
Hello.
phone as well.
Good afternoon.
Hello, how are you?
Is Subhranshu and he is the webmaster. Our webmaster is technology savvy.
Very good job. The session has been very interesting. Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity and for the presentation.
Yes.
This
I
really
got to
means a
learn
lot
so
Thank you.
for all of
Thank
us.
you.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So nice of you. So kind.
It was very interesting to see the maxims of conversation and the paraphrasing and the study skills all together. The fusion with the study skills is very interesting. I did not expect that. I mean, the link between them is extremely enlightening, sir. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
the opportunity. Yes.
Tara is interested in that maxim, so she
Yes.
knows about it.
Great.
Because
And the strategies also, I'm very interested in.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that. And
question, you have any question?
Yes. I was trying to do the graph itself. I missed a few points. I tried to understand the graph as much as I could. I didn't know what metro stood for actually. So I was trying to write it down, write the paragraph. It was challenging for me.
Yeah, maybe I should have given more explanations. All right. Yes, all right.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's just like metro. I didn't know what it stood for. That's all. So I couldn't actually write a reference to it. Otherwise, then thank you so much. The session has been enlightening for me. Thank you so much.
All thanks to Anand sir. He's the great boss.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. We are blessed. We are blessed. to have
Really,
him as our
really.
teacher.
We are really blessed.
I'm blessed as my supervisor as well.
Yeah, you are even more blessed than us.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Question. Now question. That is appreciation. I want questions.
Okay.
Thank you for the appreciation. But anybody has any question regarding study skills or anything?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes,
sir. I have a question. First, it was indeed a good session, sir, and I could learn many things from this session about this study skills and how a student can prepare his or her exams for better performance or a better score. These are the important tips that you have shared, and I have really inculcated multiple points and made notes as well for my further reference. But my question lies here is, we see there are so many students who are tense during the examination. Sometimes they fail to cope up with the exam and they take the extreme steps as well. So for such students who really put efforts for their studies, to develop their intellectual calibers, but they don't score their expectation. So to them, what should we tell or what should we do for such students?
Yeah. It's a question of attitude actually.
Yeah.
To tell the students and also parents and teachers, they should also play a role. That exam is not for passing or failing. It is an opportunity to test your knowledge so that you can improvise later, improve your knowledge later. And that should be the attitude. And the world is full of opportunities. So if one fails in one exam, they may do better in other exams also. Okay, and if unless you fall, you cannot rise. So in order to rise, you have to fall. All right. So that is from our failure we learn something. And what went wrong? You can analyze that, and you can be stronger. You can improvise in that area, and you can do better in the next time. Okay, so the parents should also have that kind of education. Teachers should also guide them. Some counseling is needed. The attitude towards exam has to change.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Sir, I have one more question. Uh, I have a nephew who is just maybe 10 years old. But I tried all the ways possible to make him study, but he fails to memorize. He is in class 6, but he does not know how to read ABCD from A to Z. But since the school system and strategy, they give promotions, or else he could have not passed even class first because his standard is so low. But I tried all the ways possible to make him study, but he cannot memorize things. But of course, he is not mentally ill actually. But I fail to understand the psychology of the person. So in this case, how can I make him improve?
Yeah. Try. I'll tell you what to do. You have to. For example, he is not able to. You said he is not able to memorize things. All right.
Yeah.
So you recite poems before him. You sing poems. All right. Sing songs and teach him line by line. All right. Show some YouTube also on songs. Okay, songs that are in YouTube. Then you tell him that if he sings like that, you will have a video. All right, and you show that video in front of him. So this you are singing like this. Good. Okay, so he'll be encouraged to sing, and because he'll be recording, he'll be watching his picture on mobile. So record it and show it before him. You try this, let us see. He'll think that he's doing some kind of shooting, he's a hero. Okay, so you may do. You ask him to dress up well with makeup and all. And now we are going to record what you are singing. All right. But you have to teach him line by line. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Start with Odia songs, easy ones. प्रार्थना गीत गुड़ाक कि सुंदर आहा कि आनंदमय यही विशाल संसार धन्य महाप्रभु करुणा तुमर अटे अनंत अपार 2 lines. Okay, ask him to sing after you. Teach word by word, line by line. He'll pick up. Try this. Okay, and you tell me later.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Thank you, sir.
Then you teach him English songs. Okay? English rhymes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, the task we did now, forming sentences from graphs. Sir, I found that a little difficult. So, what can I do to improve that one and form sentences out of from graphs easily?
Different ways. I could note the kind of examples I gave. No, first in writing an essay, first we have to do brainstorming. All right. I gave this example, but you wrote in a different way, in your own ways. That should be the strategy. You apply your creativity. What different ways you can do. You write one paragraph in one way, then begin another paragraph in different way. Okay, try 2-3 ways. Then it will be different. It will be better. Maybe you will edit that and also make connections and all. And so it will be better. Each one will be different. Each one will be better. It's a small thing. You have language. You have understanding. So you present in different ways. I was happy that you didn't follow the way I said, but you applied your mind and wrote in a different way. So you are capable of doing that. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Uh, sir, I have a question, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I didn't get one point.
You didn't get a point. Okay. Which point is that?
Yeah, the point is actually summarizing the last step of the summarizing point. Prepare a draft and do the proofreading. So
the proofreading means editing. For example, there was a mistake there. It was written quiet. It should be quiet. All right. So you read each word, look at the spelling, and look at each letter, and make correction. Proofreading means that only, editing only. Okay. So once you edit it, once you make correction, that will become the final summary.
okay.
Yeah. Proofreading means editing. Okay.
Yes.
We have time, so don't worry. You ask questions. Feel free and nothing to worry. This is a discussion only. This is a family kind of thing. Okay. Yeah. Again about examination, let me tell you, many people failed in their exams, but they became great scientists, great professors. Okay, so people fail because of different reasons, right? Because of different reasons, and they can do better. All right, they can do better. In high school, we are compelled to study so many things. Even if you are not interested in mathematics, you have to do mathematics. But at later stage, what happens? We study whatever we are interested in. And because we do that, we progress significantly, remarkably. All right. So that is one stage. We have to cross that stage only. All right. So we have to cross that stage somehow, and later our study will be enjoyable. We'll enjoy our study. There will be scope for innovation, creating new things, and all. Okay. So exams are not the determinants for our career, our life. There are opportunities, a lot of opportunities. And there are so many people, so many resources who can help us, which can help us. So we should make use of them.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Yes,
Sir. Yeah, would you please elaborate about this skimming, sir? Skimming.
Skimming means fast reading.
Yeah.
Fast reading to get an overall idea about the text. For example, you have gone to a bookshop. Okay. Where do you live, Samir?
Right now I am in Mumbai, sir.
Oh, great. Okay. You go to a bookshop or you have a new book. All right.
Yeah.
The back of the book. Back of the book. Don't call it backside. Okay, that is a bad word. Okay. Look at the back of the book, the cover page like this. Okay. So you read it fast, right? Resulting from the author's long experience in teaching and research, learning to learn helps learners at the undergraduate level and postgraduate level acquire certain common. Okay, these things you read fast, get a gist of the text, overall idea about the text. All right, you read it first.
Yes.
Okay, so this is about study skills or something. That kind of exercise is called skimming.
Okay.
Newspaper you do in the do that in the morning when you read your newspaper. No, you have no time in the morning. You have to go to office and all. So you just look at the headlines and read what happened. hmm, Read it very fast, and you say, okay, I will read it carefully in the evening. All right. So that exercise is called skimming, reading fast to get an overall idea of the text. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Skimming means read it as fast as possible and get the gist of this.
Yeah. Exactly. You are right.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I don't get also 2 points, sir.
Hmm.
One is scanning, or another one is information transfer, sir.
Scanning means reading slowly to get information about the details. You pay attention to details. Okay, when you are reading a text, you are reading a newspaper article or newspaper news article, news piece, for example. All right. So there was a match, and who were the players, and who scored how many scores. Okay, and who did betting. So all those details you have to look at carefully. All right, because
Yes.
your friend will ask. Huh? All right. So you have to give them correct information. So you have to remember each detail carefully. That is called scanning. All right.
Okay, sir.
That is called scanning.
Information transfer, sir.
Information transfer means transfer. For example, I showed you the flow chart. No, flow
Yes,
chart.
sir.
The stages of writing an essay. That is in what form? That was in picture form. Okay, or that is in visual form. Visual. That is also called visual form.